Hey, you are watching the Your Gaming Rainbow Six Vegas 2 review with myself, Dynamo, and Lucifons.
Hi there.
Vegas 2 is the follow-up to the big 2006 hit Rainbow Six Vegas and was released in the US on March the 18th and in Europe on the 20th of March.
The game is both a sequel and a prequel. It takes place before the events of the first game and then after eventually. You take control of Bishop rather than Logan, but it helps that you learn more about the story of Logan. The first thing we're going to look at is the ACES system, which is quite similar to Call of Duty's unlock system. Along with the rank system is still in place, but this time you upgrade your character by the way you play. The three categories are marksman, which you get points for like killing someone from a long range using a rope or someone who's sprinting. CQB, which is for killing someone using blind fire, a visually impaired enemy, or someone from really close up from behind. And finally assault, which I think is the hardest one to level up, by shooting through cover, using C4s, or killing someone like a turret gunner. And this allows you to unlock new weapons and get XP bonuses, whereas the rank system allows you to get new camouflage and new clothes.
One of the newest features of Vegas 2 is the ability to sprint. All you have to do is press the LB button and your person will sprint for about 3 seconds. So what do you think about that, Lucifons?
I think it's really good. I think I was worried about it when I was watching like videos and stuff, but when it actually comes to the final game, they've just implemented it so well. It's not too much sprint and it's not too fast, but it just works well. Like, you can use it to sprint between cover, so if you're hiding behind a wall you can quickly sprint to another wall. Along with that, in some like multiplayer games, after dying you have to start from the beginning of the level again, and some levels are like quite large and the battles take place on one end or the other, which means that you have to run really slowly all the way to the other end. So with sprint it means that you can get there a bit quicker and get into the action a lot quicker, which just makes the game a lot more enjoyable, I think. Along with that, you can actually use sprint to prevent a reload. So if you're in the middle of a reload and then press sprint, then it'll actually cancel that reload, which I think that's another like useful tactic you can use there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think exactly the same. Like, when I saw the trailers before the game was released, I thought, nope, it's just not going to be a good at all. But after playing it for like 2 days, it's made the game a lot better actually. So yeah. Also, the new it's totally different co-op this time. On the old Vegas, you could have, was it up to 4 people?
Yeah, 4 people on the story.
But on the old one, you didn't get any of the cutscenes, and it wasn't joint achievements. But
it was basically on the old ones. It was more like levels which were strung together rather than actual story co-op. Whereas this time they've made it actually the story, because they took a lot of people have criticised that and they took it to heart.
Yeah, it's a lot better on this one though, because now the achievements are similar to Gears of War. You both get the same achievements for completing a level, and also the person who has joined the game as like a partner, they get achievements for being what character do they play when they're co-op, do you know?
Knight.
Oh yeah, that's it. They get an extra achievement for playing as Knight for 10 scenes, which is pretty cool.
1 scene, 5 scene and 10 scenes, but granted that it doesn't actually take long to do 10 scenes. I mean, I was playing with a friend for about an hour and a half as Knight, and I already got 2 of the achievements out of 3, so it's not going to take it long to get all the co-op ones really. But it's a nice addition, definitely.
What do you think of the new graphics?
Definitely improved. I mean, if you watch the videos, it doesn't do it justice, but when you actually play the game, especially on like a 32-inch HD telly, it just looks amazing. It doesn't look as good as things like Call of Duty, but it's got a nice shine to it, and it just definitely improved. Along with the fact that in multiplayer before the game used to just look like rubbish, really, but now they've just completely made it look exactly the same in multiplayer along as single player.
Have you played the map? Is it called Kingdoms Casino? That looks really good, I reckon. That map.
Yeah, it does. Although I don't think you'll have tried it, but if you do play split screen co-op, then you'll be disappointed because what they've done is the textures they've made for a lot of objects that aren't that important. They've made the textures a lot lower res, and it's really noticeable. Like, it just doesn't look as nice at all. But I mean, I suppose they had to do it because the console's having to split the screen and run with two people at once. So it's fair enough, really.
The character customization is set out the same as Vegas 1, but it's like you have the same character for offline and online now, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Like Bishop, your main character, you actually make, and then it follows across to multiplayer and single player. So, along with that, your XP and all your earnings all carry over on single player. So any of the unlocks that you can get on multiplayer, it's just the same as single player. So the same things on the ACES system, like for killing someone with a C4, you'll level up Assault. If it's a real player on multiplayer or just a computer player on single player, you'll do exactly the same. Although I think you do actually get a bit more XP for doing multiplayer.
I think another little kind of feature thing is, you know, on the old one, if you like to have silencer all the time, every time you died or started a new round, you have to put the silencer back on. But now it stays on. Like for every game. If you join a new game, it's still there and everything, which I think is really good.
Oh yeah. I hadn't actually noticed that, but that's definitely a good feature.
I'm glad that they've kept the same cover system as well. I think that's like the best thing about the game. Don't you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was always one of the best cover systems, along with the fact that it was one of the first games to ever do a cover system, and since then, pretty much every single shooter has been copying from it and using the cover system.
Yeah, it's good. Also, what do you think? What's better, Vegas 2 or Call of Duty 4?
Personally, at the moment, I'm preferring Vegas 2, just because it's got that tactical gameplay. Like, if you're watching the multiplayer now, it is fast paced, but there's also a lot of tactics in there. Like, if you're not going to work as a team, then you may as well just not win. Like, you're just going to lose. So you have to work together, and you have to coordinate and talk to your teammates, and that just makes it so much more enjoyable when it all comes together.
And the last big question: what would you give this game out of 10?
I'd have to give it 8.9 out of 10, I think, because it doesn't do anything massively new, but it, like as the old phrase says, if it ain't broken, then don't fix it, because it just improves on everything Vegas 1 needed improving, and it's just more of a game, more fun.
Well,
yeah, I really recommend it. Definitely.
Thanks for watching the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, Lucifons, for joining us.
No worries. Don't forget to check out Your Gaming.